for a good team fight. However, this is one of those games where Mineski could really just roll all over EVOS if they're not too careful. Like, especially if they lose every single lane, it could be a very, very one-sided match here for Mineski. Then again, it could be the same for EVOS, right? When a Terrorblade gets out of control early on, you know, they tend to really take over, but you do have that metamorphosis you have to play around a lot, which does tend to slow those drafts down a bit. Definitely feels like Mineski has that higher snowballing chance early on.
Yeah, which is a bit of a shame as, you know, EVOS does have the snowball themselves, but it does feel like Mineski does have, you know, the metaphorical snowball much, much better in their draft.
I mean, I did say that, John, but the thing is, like, KP as well, can play around that black hole every time.
I think it's not as pertinent. I think it's not as pertinent. We've seen it in a lot of these Enigma games that the black hole just actually doesn't come out. Now, it didn't work out in the last game, but in most games where the Enigma is still successful, the black hole still doesn't come out until late. And quite frankly, the timing of it is usually not too important until you reach that late game when the Enigma is ready for those team fights. But beyond that, I think Mineski should have enough in their books to really maximize this map without that black hole.
Dream hit himself against Raging Potato right now. Looks like KP actually gonna walk back towards base. He's gonna try and perhaps deny one more of those creeps and maybe rotate to the jungle instead. Yeah, he's gonna go jungle with the Eidolons, though Whitemon is there. It's not going to make it a very easy jungle for KP. And it looks like KP just decides, screw this, I'm going back to the lane. Sorry, Raging, get back into the support position.
Gonna be a bit of a hard time for KP. He is, you know, it's just slightly behind in EXP. Definitely a bit behind in the early stages of farm. Is gonna have to make sure that he can close that early deficit. And I don't think Whitemon's going to make it any easier for him to try to clear that up.
Raging. Damage to Whiteman. Look at the other lane. You see Facehugger up against Moonn, although Moonn is slightly behind right now, though Facehugger does seem to be copying quite a bit of harassment and burning through that regen a lot faster. So see how long Face can really keep up this last hitting to the mid lane. Especially, you know, once you've got a couple more levels up in that OD, it just becomes so much harder. The Razor in this matchup can't really get those static links that well.
Yeah, it's definitely not an easy time for Facehugger to get those links up, although it's also not the easiest time for Moonn. I think in the end it's a bit of a draw, a bit of a wash. It depends on who moves forward first. I think that's really the name of the game. Who expends their spells first?
Nice first blood at top lane. Raging Potato really setting that up for KP. They did also force out Whiteman. He went for the level 1 cold, or level 2 cold embrace, I should say. With that is going to make them struggle a bit in the laning phase. Nice chains bot lane as well. Leisu going to be alright. He does turn around with the tag team and the shards, and now the hoof stop as well. Arjit gonna try and juke this one out. Avil dealing a lot of damage with Leisu, and Arjit will end up falling at that bot lane. A very important kill there early on with EVOS.
Yeah, nice clean kill from EVOS, just managing to block an Arjit and taking him out quite fast. Unfortunate for Arjit, but you know, he should be trying to play catch up. He's not had the best time in this lane, 10-4. Compare that to In Your Dream 17-8. Not a great start for him. And I feel like Ember is definitely much more of a tempo here than Terrorblade. Terrorblade can take the time to farm. Ember does want to be online by the time he's 6. At least one mid-game item of sorts, maybe drums, maybe something like a Yules or a Maelstrom at some point, just really fast. Because you do want to be active on the map quite fast.
Trying to give Ninja Boogie a hug. Ninja Boogie not want a bar of it. Leisu does not like the fact he's not getting his hug, so he does get slapped. that he will make his way into the mid lane. Like he have a go at Moonn here. Shards and Snowball will really help in setting up that static link, although static link has already been used. And with that, the effectiveness of this Razor may not be as high with this gank attempt. Meanwhile though, top lane, Raging Potato falling rather low, but he will just turn around onto Whiteman, who will cold embrace himself up. Raging will try and find a way out, but Leisu is there. Nice swashbuckle, but the shards will connect. KP will join in as well.
No.
Tag team has been activated, but the shield crash will be enough. And I don't see them really getting Raging Potato here. They will have to give up on that. The shards at level 1, just way too long of a cooldown to throw out a second time.
Yeah, it's a fairly close chase though. I feel like we might have seen something go terribly wrong when Raging was slightly blocked by KP. That might have turned out very bad, but it was enough time for him to repath and get back in. So not too much lost for both sides. A bit more, you know, just losing out in that mana as the Tusk does hurt a bit. So his next rotation won't have as much spammability in it.
Uh-oh, Moonn gonna find himself in trouble, being slowed down with the tag team. He is pretty much dead, or is he? Fairy Fire did come out, but Whiteman will claim that kill on the Winter Wyvern. Razor, Facehugger barely avoiding death from that Astral Imprisonment. But it was a very nice bait from him to force Moonn forward to try and chase that kill. They do take out the OD.
Yeah, it's a very nice start here for EVOS down mid. I'd say overall it's a pretty good start for them, 1-2. And you have In Your Dream, who's basically in free farm state, 34 to 15 now, really just maximizing, weaving in and out of that jungle and finding every single creep he can. Maximizing that Metamorphosis cooldown as well. I'm actually surprised we're not seeing more pressure from Mineski towards his Terrorblade early on. But In Your Dream finding all the space he wants and should get decent timings on his early game items.
So Raging Potato trying to get away top lane. Meanwhile, Leisu and Ninja Boogie having an argument again. Jit, though, will come in and solve the problem. Leisu apparently was the problem. Jit, a nice pickup for him. He turned back to the laning phase and continued farming. But back to your point, if we consider position 1s and we compare, In Your Dream has gotten way too much out of this safe lane. Raging Potato and KP really not being able to shut him down. Apparently just having the Winter Wyvern there is enough for In Your Dream to feel that comfortable to manage 42 last hits in the first 7 minutes.
Yeah, this is really worrisome for Mineski again. Their lineup does want to be online a bit early. They want to get some EXP fast. I think the moment that Ninja Bogey does hit 6, he's really going to need to do a rotation up top. Kind of try to burst down In Your Dream. They do have enough damage for it. Mind you, In Your Dream, you know, the Terrorblades never have that much HP. Lion has a massive magic nuke at 6. It should have enough damage to follow up to clean that up. Issue is Ninja Bogey is definitely playing a bit more sacrificial. Not going to get that EXP up in time. It's going to be a while. Ooh.
Well, now he's getting stampeded on the nice Earth Spike to stop them, but won't be enough it seems as they keep chasing though. Chains from Jit will stop everything. He saves the day. Meanwhile though, top lane, In Your Dream will manage to get Raging Potato, who was farming that top lane. See the rotation from Whiteman down to the bot, but still a very nice save from Jit. Fortunately for their sake, they still end up losing Raging Potato, and now Jit's going to find himself in trouble. No real mana to get away from this, although he had a remnant out. Now Ninja Boogie is here to help, and it looks like that rotation will lead to nothing for the side of EVOS.
Again, that's one of the issues of EVOS lineup. It's that it can't really keep this Ember in place as of yet. I mean, you're going to have to expend a Snowball first, and even then, it should be easy enough for an Ember Spirit to dodge that out, as long as he still has Remnants out, of course. So you're really going to have a bit of a hard time trying to catch Jit. I think it's probably not the best target to go for. I feel like if you're going to go for a gank on anyone, you're going to have to go for these easier targets, like maybe go ahead and hunt down Moonn, or, you know, punish KP in the jungle, or just keep bullying Raging Potato. But Jit at this point is pretty hard to catch out.
Well, they are going to heed your advice, EVOS. They do make their way up top with the smoke. Raging Potato may be the target again. Whiteman gets his smoke broken. Now Raging does spot him out. Leisu has to be careful. KP does have level 6. can throw out a black hole now because there is no Winter's Curse available, but he won't have the follow-up damage to really finish them off.
Middle tower is under attack.
But they'll allow them to be for the moment. And again, it feels like this is that point where you might want to see that rotation from Ninja Boogie. In fact, he's rotating his way up now, and they could really go for an early black hole initiation without that Winter's Curse being available.
Tower is under attack. Dire are scanning.
Dream, however, has moved away, and that was the main priority target that they'd want. Does realize he is in danger and leaves the lane. Looks like they will maybe find Leisu up at that top jungle. He's pretty much trapped, and Moonn deals a hell of a lot of damage. Shards, not really going to help out the cause, and end up going down to the OD.
Raging still going into the back line, trying to find Whitemon, but it's a pretty deep dive coming out from him.
Yeah, doesn't really want to commit the Rolling Thunder quite yet either. See Facehugger. Vizrun coming in. No one really around to go for those Facehuggers, so bit of a waste of time for him, but it looks like he'll take over the safe lane for the moment. They'll give Leisu that mid lane to soak up and get that level 6. Raging Potato now, maybe overextending. He does commit the Rolling Thunder, and will just roll his way out of that situation. Although no, he'll roll his way back in now. Facehugger actually losing a lot of HP.
Dire's middle tower is
They
under
will
attack.
not continue to try and go for that though.
Yeah, a bit of a confusing roll there again, just to get himself out. I was a bit confused when he tried to turn back in. I thought KP would immediately go for the black hole, but still not quite in position for that, and maybe play it safe. So again, tied up 3-3, 11 minutes in, less than 1k net worth lead for EVOS, but again, In Your Dream is having a spectacular time right now with his farm. Pretty much free farmed the entirety of the match so far, and I'm really surprised Mineski's not applying too much pressure in this Terrorblade.
That is going to be a very big concern. We've seen In Your Dream when he does get the farm he needs. He does tend to become rather unstoppable. As it stands, he's almost level 10. He's about to hit that mark. Farm is very nice at almost 6k now. Very much ahead of everyone else. Like, he's 1.5k ahead of the Ember Spirit right now. Bill thinking about going after the Ember, but again, that is a very hard target. Meanwhile, top lane, they will go onto Whiteman on that Winter Wyvern. Don't really know how much it's going to bother EVOS though. Like, yeah, you get a nice little bit of a gold influx onto Raging Potato, but still, EVOS is getting what they want across the map.
Yeah, I don't think that's a major concern for EVOS at all. Just losing your Winter Wyvern for the fact that you get to, again, have a free range Terrorblade, just eating grass all by himself, really. Really not going to be too unhappy. In fact, he just...
Facehugger being chased down. Raging will find him once. Doesn't find him the second time around. However, Moonn is here to dish out the DPS. Face actually going to TP away right in front of him. Now, the stun is there. They will surely find Avil. He was actually hidden in the tree line, John. If they just walked one way south, I think they may have just spotted him. Unless it was the Rolling Thunder that actually knocked him into a tree line that didn't have an opening. Right,
it did. Really unfortunate for EVOS there, but you know, they do get the kill on KP, but you know, Mineski as well only gets the kill on to that
Black Hole committal top lane.
What?
Cold Embrace will be there in time. He may still tick out to the midnight, but no, he won't. One more pulse would have done it, but he's... Yeah, I'm not sure what the game plan was there. He probably wasn't thinking In Your Dream was going to be there. Now Avil mid lane getting ganked up. The chains will come in. But Avil is so tanky. He's already got the Vanguard and the Hood of Defiance up on that Centaur.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That is very concerning.
Yeah, very bad news for Mineski. Just they can't actually handle Avil anymore with these really fast early items coming out from him. And again, I'm really curious as to what happened with KP there. Like, I just saw him respawn, and the next thing I know, he's dead. Like, really unfortunate. Probably, again, didn't think that In Your Dream would be up there up top, nearby, so close by Whitemon. But he does pay for that mistake with his life, and he does put his black hole back on cooldown.
Yeah, meanwhile, looks like they actually found Ninja Boogie on that line. He will get taken down rather easily. The Facehugger recently picked up that Rod of Atos and uses it immediately to lead to a kill. While all that's happening, In Your Dream continues to farm up very nicely. Now finding himself 2.5k ahead of the Ember Spirit. This is going to get out of control. He's already got almost the Manta style up. In fact, he just needs, yeah, literally 10 gold for the Ultimate Orb, and he's ready.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to deal with In Your Dream fairly soon. Just the illusion spam coming out from him, the added durability.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Jabugi as well, John. Again getting caught out. Facehugger and Leisu. Making sure that line just stays off the map. They will find the T1 top tower. So that is a nice little win for Mineski, but they've already lost their T1 bot tower as well, thanks to Avil. Looks like Moonn will go ahead and pick up a Blink Dagger for himself on that OD. That may help the cause just a little bit in terms of turning those fights, but they're about to lose a T2 tower.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, and the push does go fairly fast.
Rod of Atos will be there. He's trapped up. Snowball won't be timed perfectly. Those shards will go the wrong way as well. And they do waste a fair bit of time trying this chase on Arjit. This curse doesn't really have the mana for it anyway. He will just pick it up, but he'll go for a TP up top lane where KP has been split pushing and doing a fair amount of damage towards that T2 tower. And looks like that Enigma by himself will stop the aggression from EVOS, at least for the moment.
Yeah, this is a pretty good play from KP. Knows he doesn't quite contribute anything in team fights without his black hole, so just doing what he can, split pushing where he can, applying pressure in the map to try to relieve the pressure elsewhere. I think that's all you can really hope for from KP for now. Looks like we will see a Mineski rotation up top.
Yeah, gonna go for the easy Winter Wyvern pick off, it looks like, and Moonn will show off his Blink Dagger for the first time. Again, a very easy pickup for Moonn. Should lead to a T2 tower, but it does appear that it's going to be perhaps a trade. EVOS will not back off. They will go for the T2 at the bot lane. Big TP's coming in. Side of Mineski want to fight this. Facehugger trying to back off. Rod of Atos will hold the roll, but a nice change from Arjit. Sanity's also dropped, but not really dealing enough damage. They will find Facehugger at the very least. The Finger of Death finding that one. Meanwhile, KP getting caught out. Could not get the black hole out in time. And now In Your Dream. In that meta state, they do not want to fight this man. They'll find another one in Raging Potato. In Your Dream on a double kill now. And Mineski end up losing the team fight. They will save the T2 tower for the moment. Dream looks like he's not planning to really back off. So Arjit will get started again. Chains on In Your Dream. He'll Manta out of that. EVOS look satisfied with their win. They will back off.
Yeah, that's a pretty good hold, I guess, from Mineski, at least managing to stop that push, but In Your Dream does still come in, clean up, and they couldn't really find the target they wanted, which was this Terrorblade, so a bit of a mixed bag there.
Arjit sticking around right now. I mean, he's got the Remnant out. He's just got to be careful not to get caught out by a curse from the Winter Wyvern. He'll be okay. Facehugger looks to have queued up a BKB for himself on that Razor. That's going to help the cause quite a bit for EVOS. Meanwhile, In Your Dream going straight for the Eye of Skadi, and at this rate, like he'll have it around the 22-23 minute mark.
Yeah, again, no pressure being applied on In Your Dream, so free reign for him to really just itemize, and he has been itemizing quite well. Every time he pops in a fight, that just scares Mineski right off. So it's been a good time for him. He's going to be quite the threat, and eventually he'll be able to melt towers along with his team as well.
Show up mid lane just to make Arjit back off a bit. While bot lane Raging Potato has to be slightly careful. Bill probably won't risk anything though. He's so close to the Blink Dagger right now that not really worth going for the tier 2 tower quite yet. He may find Leisu, however, on that task. Moonn will spot him out and will get started. Those snowball will delay things, but this should just be a dead task. Nice sleight of fist dodge, or should I say it still ended up landing anyway. But Moonn will take it. A nice kill secure for the OD. I suppose that's something outside of this.
Definitely is. Again, they will take anything they can get. I feel like they still are giving a bit too much away to EVOS, at least in terms of their past 1, but they're not too far behind. In fact, they do have a less than 1k lead on the side of Mineski, so they are still quite competitive.
Bot lane, they're going to go onto the Ember, and Arjit is not dead. He will make it out with the Remnant. Whew.
What? He chose the wrong Remnant to go back to. that's terrifying. The fact that EVOS pulled out the moment he Remnant, that's really fortunate, because if they actually just went forward, they would have found a free Ajit. Jesus Christ, that was way too close for comfort, man.
Ajit clenching the butt cheeks at that moment. Did end up making it out, however. Very nice play from him.
Oh, that's pretty scary. Oh man, I'm surprised EVOS didn't see that. Fortunate for Mineski, but whew. If you're a Mineski fan, you must be. Yeah, you wouldn't. That's the thing.
Still, gonna get chained up now. Arjit looking to get some revenge. They do put him in the cold embrace, and he is healing up super fast on that Centaur. Will blink out, though the Rolling Thunder's still going, and now Moon's joined in as well. And with those orbs, it's a lot more damage. Moonn will manage to at least tick him down enough so Arjit can claim the kill on the Centaur.
Yeah, that's a nice kill. Going the way of Mineski again, tying up the kill board. Pretty even game so far, 9-9, 22 minutes in. Less than 1k lead for Mineski. It's still anyone's game. It's just kind of scary how big In Your Dream's getting, but...
Shit. More now on that Ember Spirit, trying to pull the momentum his team's way. Chain up In Your Dream, but won't bother even trying to go for any kind of kill attempt. 9-9 now, 22 minutes in. Of course, KP as well, John, on the Enigma. He did manage to pick up that Blink Dagger now. So you do have that nice surprise initiation from the Enigma.
Yeah, KP has definitely managed to bounce back a bit from that pretty rough start. Got a decent timing on that Midas, and he has been itemizing quite well. So his progression is doing good. He's had a pretty free time up here on the top lane. No real response coming out from EVOS, as there's no real objective to take there, so, you know, KP has a lot of room to just pop in and out, farm the jungle, farm the lane, keep building up, and I think we could possibly see him join team fights after one more big item.
Leisu, and a target of a nice little gank coming out from Mineski. Finger of Death committed just in case, although Stampede, they do come in from behind In Your Dream. He'll clean up one on the line, raging. Does he have a way out of this? It looks like he does. He did TP while he was rolling, and it worked out for him. Support for a support trade, a very fast rotation from EVOS to try and get some more punishment going out. Meanwhile, bot lane of Vil be okay. Just throws out a hoop stomp and walks away. Leaves the tier 1 tower to be taken by Arjit by the looks of it. EVOS can't really rotate to save this.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
gonna have to give that away, and I feel like I'm actually starting to worry a bit for EVOS, as it feels like they're giving a bit too much time to Mineski to get bigger. Sure, you're getting a lot in Your Dream. At the same time, you're giving a lot back to Mineski. I mean, you have Moonn, who is working towards what seems to be a sheepstick coming out for him. You have Ajit farming up. He does have 2 of his mid-game items already, the drums and the maelstrom. He's had them for a while. Can itemize a bit bigger now. You have Raging Potato, who is pretty good in terms of utility right now with that Arcane Boots and Mechs working to that Guardian Greaves. And once that's up, it's going to be a much harder time to kill off people in Mineski. So you will be a bit vulnerable here, and you have to consider that your Terrorblade does not hold up well against the OD. That's a lot of pure damage that goes through, you know, and the Santis Eclipse after a prolonged team fight will absolutely just decimate that Terrorblade. So I am slightly worried for EVOS. They really are depending completely on In Your Dream to simply outfarm everyone and, you know, use that net worth differential to secure the win. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough, because this hero does have quite a few natural counters on Mineski's side.
Yeah, not to mention Moon's about to pick up a Scythe of Ice, and there it is. Immediately going for the smoke is the side of Mineski, and they have found out Whiteman again at the top lane. Be a very easy pick off for Moonn. He'll just come in and clean that up. But KP will take it for himself. That will reveal the Scythe of Ice he just picked up, and that is certainly very, very scary for In Your Dream now. He's not currently going for a BKB either, so won't have that magic immunity available on him to block the Scythe of Ice. Looks like the side of Mineski are now in the driver's seat, feeling very comfortable indeed to start making a push.
Yeah, they have everything they want, really. They've gotten pretty good timings on their items. They're actually in the net worth lead now. A lot of the gold on EVO's side is really hanging in Your Dream again, who has not shown up recently for fights. So that gold advantage of In Your Dream is not quite helping the cause of EVOS yet, as they are still content to kind of give some ground away in return, getting some more going for In Your Dream before he commits to a fight.
See the BKB as well being finished up on KP now, so he's going to feel a lot safer going for that black hole. Still does have the problem of the Winter's Curse, but at the very least it's only one problem now he has. Can be dealt with. I've seen Whiteman be picked off quite a few times in the game. Jit. They make a bit of a push down bot, though quite aware that there's a few heroes on the left side. Now he is, but he'll continue moving forward, and he will remnant away eventually after clearing that creep wave. Certainly doesn't want to risk his life, John. He's very close to picking up that full Radiance now.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty decent timing for Jit, as, you know, it's going to be, what, pre-28, pre-30-minute Radiance after 2 mid-game items. Fairly good timing for him, and that's just going to add a lot more damage and a bit more durability coming out for the entire team of Mineski due to that burn mischance. So a bit more utility coming out from Jit there. Should be annoying for In Your Dream to deal with, as, again, he has no way of just having 100% hit, not without an MKB, so that evasion, that mischance will hurt him a fair bit, as most of his damage is coming through right clicks.
At the very least, he has gotten a BKB up now. Help him up against that Scythe of Ice of the OD. Looks like he is going to go for the Daedalus on that Terrorblade next. Again, the game plan remains to just let In Your Dream farm as much as possible and rely on him during those later stages. Mineski going that much more team-orientated style where they just stick as 5 and try to win out these team fights, and it really looks like they want to try and find one right now. Avil will be the target. He gets hexed up. He has the rest of his team near him, but he's copping a lot of damage, and there's Moonn with the hammer. So hold on a minute. Avil, he does go down. The Astral is there, though he's being leeched quite a lot. Meanwhile, Leisu will end up going down to Jit. And it looks like Whiteman, still in the backlines, holding on to that curse. May use it on Jit, though. No, he will not. The Remnant will be there on the Ember Spirit. Raging Potato, the only man left currently, fighting Facehugger, goes for the TP attempt and will make it out. Once again, no Winter's Curse being thrown out, and there's the tip from Ninja Boogie saying thank you for that. Though KP will go down to In Your Dream. Now Facehugger finds himself in trouble to Jit. Jit, gotta be careful. Here comes the Terrorblade, and that's what the curse was for. They were just holding on to it for this moment. Does he have a remnant to get out? He does, and he will eventually get himself out of there.
Yeah, really tight fight for both sides. I'm really surprised that the Winter's Curse came out so late. Like, not even using it to cancel a few TPs. Really strange decision making so far, but they do at least get the kill on KP, which is fairly nice. It's a nice little boon for EVOS. Still, network lead is squarely in Mineski's side now. 3K network lead, 13-12 at 29 minutes in. Again, a majority of EVO's gold is stuck on In Your Dream, who frankly just doesn't feel like he's contributing too much to these fights just yet. Really content to just farm up, which does seem to be EVO's game plan. I'm just not sure if it's gonna pay off quite well at the end of the game, because again, you've reached a point where OD is now hitting like a truck. He's gonna have a BKB soon as well, and once that's up, you're gonna have a hard time controlling this OD, who will just sap away at your end and then drop Santis.
Oh, Avil, double hoof stomp coming out, stopping the Roshan attempt. Arjit gets out of there, but Moonn will start the team fight, and Avil is gone. Meanwhile, Raging Potato, Black Hole, KP, he will finally throw it out. Though where's the Winter's Curse? It is too darn late. The Tusk may end up losing his life lane, so he will actually get the mech just in time. KP falling low, though Raging Potato comes in, helps out. We'll get Leisu as well. KP still running. They'll find another. Raging Potato really making some work happen. Now the Sleight of Fist Chains comes in. In Your Dream, trying to find a target, but he's getting kited around all over the place. Ninja will be the target he does find, but certainly not the one he wanted.
Yeah, and again, just a bit of a tight fight. Again, just a bit too late with that Winter's Curse. Really unfortunate for EVOS, but the timing on that spell has not been on point so far this game, so rather unfortunate for EVOS. I feel like they definitely need to tighten up that coordination.
Good. He gets started again, Johnny. He's going straight onto Avil, and look at that sanities. KP finds a kill onto Wyman. Avil still alive, though, doesn't know how to help his team right now. Who are they even chasing? The Astral will be there on In Your Dream. Facehugger making the chase onto KP. They're just trying to run away from this Terrorblade, and Arjit will be successful in doing so, although no, maybe he'll turn around. Meanwhile, Facehugger never even found the Enigma. They will get Ninja Boogie, and now they go for more Moonn. Sticking around, trying to get Avil. In Your Dream, going for the TP. They will leave the Centaur just to die to the hands of Arjit.
Yeah, and again, it's getting a bit scary here for EVOS when your main damage dealer, when the guy you're really hanging on to, the guy you prioritize the farm on, doesn't manage to really get too much done in these team fights. I mean, not managing to secure those kills, it's a pretty darn big deal that your gold investment is not securing these team fights for you. So it is a bit worrisome. I feel like Mineski isn't without fault as well. I mean, that if we are looking at some rather iffy initiations, I feel like Moonn drops the hammer way too fast. That Santi's always being dropped when he doesn't have too many stacks of int up yet. I think you probably should wait a bit before dropping it. You know, get a decent amount of stacks going and then go for that.
Mid lane, Dream. Goes on to Moonn right now. This could be dangerous, however. Astral will be on Moonn himself. And Moonn looks like he's in danger. In fact, he is. He will end up going down.
Oh, man.
He had teammates kind of close by. I thought he would Astral the Terrorblade and make a run for it instead, but Astral's himself.
Yeah, not too sure what to say about that. I think he wanted to blink out after. Just really good timing from that.
Ninja gets caught out as well. There's just not much he can do as a lion right now, and he will get bursted down as well. Facehugger will claim that one. Like Arjit, in fact KB will be up at the top lane. Arjit was down at the bot. Just trying to split push while they can. Though EVOS not planning to back off, they will go for the tier 2 mid tower as well. Straight after that tier 1, and going to be a nice bit of control coming out from the side of the Dire. KP. Ping down Avil, gonna chase, who stopped, nice dodge from KP. Stampede not gonna be available, they could not cancel the TP in time. They are forced back to defend after that tier 2 was taken in the mid lane.
Yeah, nice split pushing coming out from Mineski, but still a nice amount of push coming out from EVOS as well, at least managing to take out that tier 2 down mid and buying, opening up that lane for them to push down if ever they win the team fight. I do feel like you're going to have to start facing issues once KP has that refresher orb, which is flying out now. So he will have that option in the next few team fights. I'm not sure if he has enough of a mana pool to really cast all the spells yet. But if he does, then that's going to be a major issue for EVOS.
You've got a refresher orb now. Or you just actually said it. But yeah, the mana pool is going to be a problem. KP. Smoke it up.
They smoke under a ward though.
That's going to be problematic. Brand new ward being placed deep in the mid-river. Perhaps walking into a setup from EVOS. Trying to find a target. Dream was around the area, although they may find another in Leisu, but he's hiding in the tree line right now. And now EVOS setting up for a team fight. Run in your dream. The first man in, and now Leisu comes in straight after the Ember, though he will remnant it away. Now the Stampede. Raging Potato trying to find somebody. They will commit the curse onto him. So this does leave the black hole available to be thrown out, but where the hell's KP? Not going in quite yet. Holding out the Aegis. It also ends up expiring on In Your Dream to make matters worse. So EVOS not feeling confident, although they will jump in with a Bill and that Hoof Slump. KP looking for the right moment. Black Hole, he'll only get one for the first one. He can refresh and get a second. Leisu walked into that first one, and KP does end up going down. Facehugger on a double kill, and now Arjit still making a run. Shards are on point from Leisu, though. Nice chains coming out. Arjit tries to TP. Rod of Atos will hold him in. He is dead. A triple goes to Facehugger on that Razor, and a very, very messy team fight from the side of Mineski. In fact, Raging Potato is still there. We'll manage to TP out, but EVOS do manage to come out on top.
Yeah, nice clean team fight for EVOS. Really messy initiation coming out from Mineski. It almost felt like that was the ideal start for Mineski, having that Winter's Curse being wasted on the Pangolier, but apparently not enough. KP jumps in, has the black hole. Not the most, not the greatest black hole that you could hope for. And for some reason, again, Moonn drops that Santis Eclipse very early on. Just doesn't manage to do it on top of the Terrorblade, doesn't manage to burst him down. It's really shocking that this OD hasn't been able to match up against the Terrorblade too well. I think something about Moon's positioning and Moon's spell usage just isn't adding up so far. I'm interested to see if that does improve as time goes on, because now that In Your Dream is joining these fights, it's getting really hard for Mineski to get a grip on him.
Raging, going after Whiteman. He does have help behind him, but they're going to leave him alone. The Yules will be there, but it still works in the Yules apparently. Whiteman does get the force up, and now he's in Viz. Now he's stunned up. He doesn't know what he's doing with himself. Cold Embrace will be there. Raging Potato, they will just Finger of Death in Ninja Boogie. He's had enough. This man is not here to play around.
Definitely so. Nice clean support kill. I think what does matter is that Ninja Boogie is building up on his Finger of Death stacks, so he has 6 stacks now. That's about, what is that, 300 damage if my maths aren't completely bad. So nice amount of burst damage to add on top. That should be, once he hits, once he gets that level 3 Finger of Death, that's going to be a good amount of damage you could pump into the Terrorblade.
Dire's middle tower is under
On
attack.
quite quiet in this game, although they will go for a smoke on the side of EVOS. Double damage as well for In Your Dream. No wards to scout out that room being taken. Mineski gonna run straight into them now. Avil, Hoofstomp has been dodged. He will get out for the moment. The Rod of Atos was on the Ember, but they found Ninja Boogie. Is that gonna be it? Are they considering going back in, Mineski? We'll back off. I mean, you saw the Metamorphosis, you saw the double damage. And absolutely no reason to take a team fight up against a Terrorblade like that.
Yeah, definitely so. Again, In Your Dream is looking pretty darn big right now. It's not something that Mineski feels too confident in dealing with. I mean, just look at the damage output coming out from him. It feels like despite being even in that word right now, roughly even with Mineski and EVOS, they're still not confident in taking these team fights on even terms.
Gonna try and take a Roshan here on EVOS, but that The Metamorphosis is about to wear off, and actually it was a bit of a bait. They're trying to find this Pangolier, and they have found the Ember as well. But can he get himself out? Jit still Sleight of Fist trying to juke them around. Now the rest of the team Raging going to save the day, and now the Black Hole. KP found it, but the curse is there just in time. The Sanities is nice from Moonn. He's going to make the chase on In Your Dream, who has no Metamorphosis left. He also has no friends left around him. Whiteman trying to go for the TP. He will be chained up, and Mineski really punishing for that engagement from EVOS. And that was wishful thinking, I've got to admit, from the Dire side, John. The Metamorphosis was literally about to run out.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, even with In Your Dream being as big as he is, you are still limited by Terrorblade's own limitations. You have to play around that Metamorphosis timing. And, you know, when it's down, you really shouldn't be looking to take these team fights. Even if, you know, you have a massively farmed TB. Just without that meta, it's very easy to miss out in that fight. And they definitely missed out there. In Your Dream finally dies, and they give a lot of gold away to Mineski. They also give up a Roche from that botched team fight.
Roshan going to be claimed. Moonn will take the Aegis, and Arjit will manage to snag the cheese for himself in the backpack. Of course, that Black Hole was refreshed immediately, so he does have another one available. EVOS may not expect this. They may go for a tier 3 push right here, right now for the side of Mineski.
I wouldn't
not in position to defend right now.
They do have the tools up and running. They have the Winter's Curse up. They're going to have the meta up as soon as In Your Dream respawns.
When actually Ember going too far, the Black Hole, KP will find that the Winter's Curse is there though to cancel it off, and now KP will end up losing his life, but they will manage to get Arjit out just in time. Raging, there's only so much more he can do. They will end up giving away at least one kill, but it looks like it will be 2 for the side of EVOS, and that is an unsuccessful high ground push.
Yeah, a bit too far forward there. I feel like that jump in from Ajit was way too aggressive there. I think they might have been quite happy with just chipping away at that tower. And it has dropped very low, 129 HP left. I feel like they might have been able to take it out if they just didn't jump in too deep. Because Ajit did play really aggressive there, and that might have costed them that high ground push.
They're going to try and get a high ground push going on the side of EVOS now. They still are fighting into an Aegis on the OD. Arjit still has the cheese as well. EVOS there. Like the side of EVOS, not interested after the buyback coming out. Metamorphosis was committed, but it looks like they're more than happy with that buyback from Raging Potato, and they will back off to safety for the moment. Dream now as well, at that point where he's basically 6 slotted. Could get rid of the boots, but much it. They're actually going to rotate again down south if they get scanned out. They're not gonna know about that scan though. Mineski, they're ready for this, and Raging Potato gets jumped on straight off the bat. The Astra was there. Now the Sleight of Fist chains goes in. They're trying to burst out in your dream, and they will do so. He's down with no buyback available. Lanesu is trying to make a run while Facehugger tries to do some DPS, but Moonn is somehow surviving throughout all this. And Facehugger, he's trapped in the middle of 4 heroes right now. He will end up falling, and KP finds another. He'll commit the Black Hole onto the Winter Wyvern. No way to cancel that off. 3 down for the side of EVOS, and the high ground push may just get started once again from the side of Mineski.
Yeah, I think this is definitely the time for them to get that push going. Shove down that mid, take out that tier 3 down mid, which is already really low anyway, and maybe even take 1 Rax, because I think they might be able to get away with it. By the time In Your Dream responds, of course, he's going to have the Metamorphosis up, but you still have a full minute until then, and that's a lot of time for you to get stuff going.
Certainly at least 1 Rax for the side of Mineski. Don't think the Winter Wyvern buyback's going to scare them off too much. Black Hole, though, will not be available on KP, nor does he have the Refresher Orb, but they won't really need it this time around. You know what, John? Looking at those respawn times, they have more than enough time to actually go for 2, because the Wyvern even bought out, so he doesn't have buyback anymore.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, that's just going to be 2 set of racks going the way of Mineski, no contest. It's going to be a bit of a rough time for EVOS now. They do have pretty darn good wave clear though, so it's not the end of the world. It just means that Mineski might be able to be a bit more aggressive now, that the lanes are naturally pushing in for them.
Stampede committed. Looks like down a bot, Raging Potato, actually causing some headache for Avil. You now know the Stampede's gone as well, so you may want to go for another team fight if you're on the side of Mineski. Your Dream, though, has respawned. Does have the meta.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
Focus on the shrine first up.
Dire's bottom shrine has fallen.
Luckily for the side of EVOS, they did still have that outer tier 2 tower at the bot lane, so there will be no megas coming out, but
Dire's
that tier 2
tower
doesn't
is
exactly
under
have much
attack.
health left. In fact, it may just go down now to the Eidolons. It
Dire's
will.
bottom tower is fallen.
Mineski, you think they just back off now, or is it time to go for that final push already?
I feel like they should be going for that push soon. You're going to have the black hole up on KP in around 10 seconds. You're going to have the refresh up in about 30 seconds after. So you're going to have those options available for your own team fight. I think this is about the time you should be ready. You're going to have your ultimates up. You guys are looking pretty darn strong, and
Jumped onto Avil. Luckily, there was a 4-star available for one of his teammates to send him out of there. It looks like they agree with you, John. Mineski are moving their way in. Refresher Orb is also 10 seconds away from being able to be used. 2 black holes will be up and ready to go for this team fight. Octarine Core is also up on him. He still holds the cheese as well, so he's a very hard man to kill right now. So they're just trying to basically force out the metamorphosis from In Your Dream. Perhaps after that they'll just back off and wait it out. Atos being committed onto Arjit, though no follow-up after that. Starting to fall low, face hugger. Pops a lot. Nice bash from Raging Potato, but again, no follow-up. A lot of patience here from Mineski. They're just waiting for that In Your Dream metamorphosis. Jit again, being very annoying. Face hugger, not getting jumped on yet. They'll take the tier 3, and it looks like they'll be happy to back off and go for the shrine instead.
yeah, I think that's a fair enough choice. That does mean the high ground of the spot area is definitely going to be much harder to hold. Mineski should be able to play around that the next time they siege the high ground. I think the next objective they might be waiting on will be that Roshan. We could see it respawn in 1 minute if it's going to be early. So we'll see if Mineski does opt to wait around for that first.
Eidolons by themselves taking out that top shrine. Well, perhaps they'll go back in again. And why the hell not? KP. He's got a Lincoln Spear now as well, John. Like, this is getting problematic for EVOS. In fact, he can buy out the full Aghanim Scepter if he wants, but he holds on to that buyback gold for the moment. So he's being rather responsible. They will jump in onto Facehugger. Again, 4-star will come in handy. And now Avil goes in for the hoop stop. He finds one of the black hole from KP. Will stop everything. And they will clean up the side of EVOS. Or will they? In Your Dream will get started. Trying to go after a Jit and really won't find him. Strange team fight. EVOS losing 2. Not committing the buyback on the Razor quite yet. Now they will. Didn't actually realize KP used both his black holes in that instant.
Yeah, he immediately cancelled the second one because his HP was dropping quite low. I don't think he realized it until it was too late. He had to stop attacking, save his life. It looks like they are just waiting for the metamorphosis to fade out, and it will fade out fairly soon.
it's gone. They will jump in regardless though. Arjit trying to make something happen immediately, and he finds Leisu. Now Winter's Curse on Moonn, but it's not really doing much to Moonn. He's perfectly fine within that Winter's Curse. And Raging Potato again setting up kills for the team in the backlines. Husk down, a dieback on him for 100 seconds. This Rax just sitting there waiting to be taken by Mineski, and they will finish it off. Mega Creeps are up and running, but while that Metamorphosis is down, why not just keep going? And I think that's the game plan from Mineski. They understand there's no reason for them to back off.
Yeah, again, Metamorphosis is down for a full minute. You do have your own tools. You know, you don't have a black hole up, but you have enough damage on your side to really just force the issue now. Gets
caught out. Chains were there, but Raging still rolling around now. Bill goes for the hoop stomp, but there's no follow-up on that. Sleight of Fist will dodge everything, and Arjit will get started once again. Stampede will be there. Look how tanky Arjit is, though. And now KP threatening a black hole that wasn't even available. They actually believed it on the side of EVOS, and they caught after it. A very nice play from Mineski to end off this game. And they had a 30k net worth lead by the 15-minute mark. They will claim game number 1. This best of 3.
Yeah, impressive game coming out from Mineski. Rather odd choice from EVOS. I mean, they had so much space in your dream, but they chose not to use that to their advantage. Ended up with a near mythical score of 3-2-2-2, Mike. Just one extra digit there, but really fantastic game 1 coming out from both sides. Looking forward to see if EVOS does shake it up in game 2 and, you know, kind of be more aggressive. I feel like they really lacked that in that early to mid game, even though they had a significant lead on In Your Dream.